The story begins with a train passing through a desert. Inside the train, we see a man named Jack who is traveling somewhere. Also in the train is a woman with a child, who appears quite distressed and hungry. A short while later, when the train stops, Jack goes to the woman, gives her his food, and gets off. However, the place where he arrives seems completely deserted, with no one in sight. Before reaching this place, Jack had also booked a car. After getting off, he approaches a nearby shop and asks a man for the bathroom. But the man doesn't speak to Jack and only gestures to show where the bathroom is. Jack moves forward and finds an old dirty bathroom. Since he has no other option, he has no choice but to use it. Shortly after, Jack's driver arrives and calls out to him. Jack then gets in the car with the driver and heads toward a place called the compound. However, after traveling some distance, an argument breaks out between Jack and the driver because the driver is demanding extra fare. Reluctantly, Jack eventually agrees. A little later, Jack tries to turn on the car's AC, but the driver stops him, saying that in this heat, turning on the AC could overload the engine and cause it to shut down. They continue their journey, but a short distance ahead, their car gets a flat tire, forcing them to stop and change it. As they move forward, night falls and the two decide to stop and rest somewhere. The driver asks Jack why he wants to go to the compound as very few people travel there. Jack explains that he saw a job advertisement and is going there for work. The driver then warns him that the path is very dangerous, and the farther they go from the compound, the more perilous it becomes. The next morning, the two set off again, with Jack now driving the car while the driver sleeps. Seeing this, Jack turns on the AC, causing the car's engine to shut down shortly afterward. When the car stops, the driver realizes it was Jack's doing and becomes furious. Afterward, the driver has to fix the engine while Jack wanders around. A little further ahead, Jack spots a shiny rock. When he goes to check it, he suspects it might be gold, so he calls the driver to confirm. The driver takes out his lighter and says, if it turns black when burned, then it's just a rock. But when he lights it, instead of turning black, it shines even brighter, confirming to both of them that it's real gold. Excited, they start digging, but despite their efforts, they can't extract the gold. They then try different experiments together, attempting to pull the rock out, but none of their methods work. The two of them spend the entire day digging together, but their efforts still don't pay off. As evening falls, the driver gathers some pieces of wood. He warns Jack that wild dogs roam the area, posing a danger. They sit by the fire and the driver grows excited, feeling like his luck is about to change. After a while, the driver gets an idea. He tells Jack, we can rent an excavator from the city and bring it here, but one of us will have to go fetch it. The driver wants Jack to go, but Jack refuses, saying, I'm new to this city and don't know anyone. No one will rent me the machine. The driver agrees and leaves the next morning, giving Jack some supplies and a satellite phone. It might take me a few days to return, he says before driving off. After the driver leaves, Jack sets up a tent to stay in. Before nightfall, he quickly gathers more firewood, but as he eats dinner, he hears dogs barking and grows terrified. The next morning, Jack wakes up and sits quietly when suddenly his phone rings. But before he can answer, the call drops. Bored, he grabs his bag and wanders around, climbing to a higher spot. There, he spots a wrecked plane in terrible condition. He thinks this could be a better place to stay, but he also needs to guard the gold. So he takes some pieces of the plane back with him. Exhausted, he returns to his tent and falls asleep. Soon, the scorching sun wakes him up, and he sits by the gold. With nothing else to do, he starts humming and talking to himself. Then an idea strikes him. He can use a rock to break the gold. He succeeds, but just then the driver calls. The car broke down due to engine overheating. It'll take me longer to return, he says. Excited, Jack replies, I managed to break off a piece of the gold. The driver promises to return as soon as possible. Night falls again and Jack lights a fire. Suddenly, wild dogs try to attack him, but he fends them off using the fire. In the next scene, Jack returns to the plane to collect more parts for shade. But then he spots someone approaching and hides inside the wreckage. The stranger orders him to come out, saying, This is my hiding spot. When Jack steps out, he realizes it's a woman. She offers him food and water, but Jack stays silent. She bombards him with questions until he gets annoyed and walks away. She follows, angering him further. Stop interfering with my work, he snaps. Then the woman notices his camp and, in a fit of rage, starts smashing it. Enraged, the woman repeatedly shouts at Jack to leave. This infuriates Jack, and in a fit of anger, he hits her, knocking her unconscious. He then rummages through her bag, taking whatever supplies he needs. The next morning, Jack wakes up to a call from the driver, who says, I've got the machine, but it's heavy. It'll take some time to reach you. This news stresses Jack out, but the driver tries to motivate him. Just then, Jack spots a passing car but refuses to leave, still obsessed with the gold. As night falls, Jack gathers firewood again, but suddenly, a massive sandstorm approaches. He tries to run back to his camp, but the storm destroys everything. While fleeing, a sharp piece of wood pierces his stomach. The next morning, Jack wakes up with the wood still lodged in his abdomen. Despite the pain, he clings to hope that selling the gold will change his life. The storm has buried the area in sand, so he frantically digs to find the gold. After a desperate search, he finally locates it. Weak from blood loss, hunger, and thirst, Jack pulls the wood out of his stomach and collapses unconscious. When he wakes up, he sees a woman standing over him, holding a large spear. He realizes it's the same woman he attacked earlier. She gives him water and leaves without a word. Soon after, the driver calls again. "I'll be there soon." But before he arrives, the woman returns, wanting to help. Jack, paranoid about the gold, tries to shoo her away. She insists, "I don't want anything from you, just tell me. Have you seen my sister?" Before Jack can respond, wild dogs surround them, growling. The driver arrives with the excavator only to find Jack's lifeless body. As he walks to the back of his truck to grab something, an arrow suddenly strikes him in the chest. He staggers, looking around in shock, revealing the woman as the shooter. She was seeking revenge for her sister. The video ends here. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it. Thanks.